let's explore these in a little bit more detail. We're beginning to understand aging at the genetic level, as I've mentioned, and by targeting the human genome, we can exert a profound anti-aging benefit. Using exclusive technology and capitalizing on modern-day computing power, we can probe the human genome and identify the functional clusters of genes that are directly related to aging. Just as the discovery of the Rosetta Stone deciphered the Egyptian hieroglyphic writing, Ageloc is proving equally powerful to decode anti-aging at the genetic level. Still a little bit complicated? Let me demonstrate, okay? Let me bring one of my two esteemed colleagues on stage. Let me invite these two guys on stage to help me to illustrate this concept even more. So let's welcome Dr. Mark Bartlett, who's the Vice President of Pharmanex R&D, and Dr. Helen Nax, Vice President of Nu Skin R&D. Hi, Helen. Whoa. You did not steal that telescope, right? This is not the Hubble telescope. Okay. Now, you got to be set up in the right location. It's really key here. Now, this big thing here is Ageloc telescope. Okay? So, imagine that Ageloc is all about looking through this telescope to look at the 20,000 genes we have in the human genome. Much like Galileo, more than 400 years ago, who first developed his telescope to examine the millions of stars in the sky. Right? So, to make this example even more illuminating, pardon the pun, let's imagine that our technological advantage lies in the fact that we, Nu Skin, are the only ones who own this proprietary Ageloc telescope. Let's show you what I mean. You're supposed to bring on the video to show you the galaxy. Let's pretend I'm looking through this, right? Okay, we're going down the telescope and going into the clouds. That's really cool. I'm like the Matrix back again. Oh, that's Nu Skin Provo. Whoa, that's a security guard. He's really looking and protecting the building. That's somebody trying to work. No, he's on the internet, sorry. And we're going up into the galaxy, looking at all the different galaxies. Very good. We're coming back down. We're looking at all the Milky Way, the Crab Nebula, everything. Imagine these are stars. And these stars sort of like represent genes, if you will. Okay? Each star represents a single gene. And we're looking through with our Ageloc telescope. Just think each point represents a certain gene. And it keeps looking and looking with our Ageloc. And so, just imagine that you look at all these stars through our Ageloc telescope, and those particular stars represent genes. Now, let's take a closer look at Ageloc science. Oh, why don't you, I think you have something in your seat, right? Can you all sort of look under your seat and wave that in the air? And we can have the lights down. All of you, grab your glow stick. Lots of glow stick. I'll give you some time. Whoa! Eugene cluster. If some of the guys at the back look back, you can see a Eugene cluster suddenly appearing in the human genome. Right there. Oh, another one on the left. There's a YGC. Look at that. So, all these glow sticks are your 20,000 genes. There are two YGCs appearing. One on the left, one on the right. Eugene clusters indeed. So, I think you get the picture, if you will. Okay? So, thanks, Mark, and thanks, Alan. And we can move this to the side, this great big Hubble telescope. So, quite simple. Now, thanks to our proprietary Ageloc science, only new skin has the power to identify these used gene clusters. The point is, with Ageloc, we can actually identify these functional groups of genes, which then unlock the genetic mystery associated with aging, so that we can understand and address aging at the source. Just like Galileo translated astrology to astronomy with his telescope, Ageloc is transforming the world of cosmetics and nutritional supplements from supposition to hard facts. Now, the skeptics who are still might be among you, we may even have competitors' representatives sitting in the audience, and they will say, this telescope, yeah, that's a pretty clever metaphor. And the glow sticks, really cool looking. But it didn't prove anything. It's not science, it's an illustration. Where's the proof? Many of you are here today. You are asking the same question. Show me the beef. I want to see the beef, not just the sizzle. Okay, let me now tell you how we did it in a real scientific way and how we managed to cross the aging Rubicon. The first critical insight comes from 35 years of research into caloric restriction and aging. Caloric restriction is considered the only method validated by science to preserve youth. No ifs, no buts. It's the only, let me repeat this, the only scientifically validated method of preserving youth is restricting our caloric intake. This concept of caloric restriction and longevity is well documented, supported by numerous research studies, and has been the subject of a great number of books and scholarly papers. But what was more important to me were these questions. How and why caloric restriction prolongs life? For me, that actually means I have to go back to the primary source of research discoveries, and that search led me to one of the foremost experts on caloric restriction and longevity. In my mind, there could only be one person, and that would be Dr. Richard Winder of the University of Wisconsin. In 1988, Dr. Winder co-authored the seminal work, The Retardation of Aging and Disease by Dietary Restriction, which is now widely regarded as the founding text on caloric restriction. Since then, he has written 2 more books on the topic and published more than 175 scientific papers on aging. So, when I first called Rick, he was kind enough, first of all, to pick up the phone and then to describe his lifelong work on caloric restriction to me. By the way, when we spoke on the phone, we had never met before. I told him that I was particularly interested in his caloric restriction research. And even more importantly to me, how he has been able to connect caloric restriction at the genetic level. As we talked, he became even more of a kindred spirit when I mentioned that there are scientific flaws in some of these studies that have been published on resveratrol. And he agreed. Indeed, we discussed that you don't have to drink 600 glasses of red wine to live longer.